Assalamualaikum and good day to Dr. Farah and Dr. Hamza. We are from Group 1. We will conduct mock mediation of proposed work for SBEQ 35Q2 Construction Procurement and Dispute Resolution. This is my group members, which is Muhammad IRFAN bin Johari will be Ahmad, Muhammad Hariz bin Razaliza will be Mr. Lee, Farhana Patricia Basri, which is me, the narrator, Tan Kecil will be another narrator, and TEOH will be Lily, the mediator. Our case-based scenario. First party will be homeowner, which is Ahmad, and second party will be contractor ABC Construction Sdn Bhd. Ahmad wants to renovate his house and he contacted ABC Construction Sdn Bhd, who had done work for him before. The scope of work for renovation had been agreed verbally without a written contract. With mutual consent, ABC Construction Sdn Bhd had commenced and completed the work while Ahmad was travelling overseas. However, Ahmad complained that ABC Construction Sdn Bhd has wrongly hacked the wall of his house without prior consent. ABC Construction Sdn Bhd reiterated that demolition of work was agreed mutually during the initial discussion. The communication between two parties broke down and seemed irreconcilable. Therefore, they adopt mediation to solve the dispute. Next will be the dialogue for renovation works on 10 October 2021.
Hi, Mr. Lee. My house needs a renovation, and since I was satisfied with your work last time, I would like to ask the contractor for renovation of my house.
Hi, Ahmad. Thank you for the recognition, and we are pleased to serve you with our expert in construction. Can you briefly state what are your requirements for renovation?
Sure, I have an empty space outside my house, and I intend to renovate it to become a patio. I want it to be having theme, so can you help?
No problem, sir. I will provide you a preliminary design and quotation once I discuss with my staffs.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ahmad. Here showing you the proposal design and scope of work for your house's renovation based on our discussion before. Any comments or adjustment need to be done?
Wow, I am impressed with this design. You can start your work anytime in my house, but I will not be around during the next 2 weeks.
Noted, sir. The estimated completion time is before end of this month, and we will proceed based on this agreed design and work schedule.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ahmad. Lee here from ABC Construction Sdn Bhd to inform you on the completion of renovation.
Why is my wall hacked without my consent? Your action is considered transparent my house.
Prior to our discussion before, you are agreed to our scope of work, and we considered that was your approval to do so.
No, I did not want my house to be hacked initially, and I refuse to listen any excuse from you.
First, there are total 3 processes in our mock mediation, which are pre-mediation process, mediation process, and lastly will be the post-mediation. So first of all will be the mediation agreement. After a party is voluntary and willing to go for mediation, a mediation agreement shall be drafted in writing and signed by both parties. Then the mediation agreement shall contain agreement by the parties to submit to mediation dispute, appointment of mediator, cost to be borne by both parties. Next will be the dialogue for request for mediation.
Good afternoon. I am Lee calling from ABC Construction Sdn Bhd. Can I talk to Mr. Ahmad?
Good afternoon, Mr. Lee. I am Ahmad. Anything to inform?
Regarding on the issue of renovation completed recently in your house, I am asking whether Mr. Ahmad is interested in solving this dispute through mediation. A letter has been sent to your email. Kindly check for further confirmation.
Okay, we check on that later. Thank you and have a nice day.
Next, preliminaries. Preliminaries can be defined as the introduction of mediation where the parties gather in same room. Then, mediator will introduce participants, outline mediation process, lays out ground rules, and present goal of mediation. Then will be the dialogue for preliminaries.
Good afternoon. We are gathered here today for mediation, and I'm Lily as your mediator. On my left side is Mr. Ahmad as the owner of the building, while on my right side is Mr. Lee, the representative from ABC Constructions Liran Berhad.
Good afternoon, Miss Lily and Mr. Ahmad.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lee.
Firstly, allow me to briefly outline the process of mediation. We are now in the stage of preliminaries, and later will be opening remarks by both parties to present view on dispute. After that, a joint discussion will be held to ask questions and clarify information. Then, we will have caucuses, that also known as private meeting, between me and you two parties separately to disclose the sensitive issues pertaining to this dispute with me. Furthermore, I will invite both of you to attend our second joint session to discuss on the alternative solutions and focus on the interests of both parties. The mediation process will end by signing a settlement agreement when both parties reach consensus on an amicable solutions.
Okay, any rules to follow the mediation?
Yes, Mr. Ahmad. I will impose some ground rules to be followed by both of you throughout the mediation process. Both parties are encouraged to speak and address each other with courtesy. Besides that, only one person is allowed to speak at a time and do not interrupt before your turn. Lastly, be prepared to understand other people's points of view and thoughts. To conclude my introduction, this mediation is aiming to help Mr. Ahmad and Mr. Lee to achieve a negotiated agreement regarding issue on dispute and to resolve business relationship amicably. Before we proceed to opening remarks, is there any questions to ask?
No, miss. Let's proceed to the next stage.
Opening remark. Following the mediator's introduction, each side has the opportunity to present its view of the dispute without interruption. Then, both parties are able to describe the issues and also take time to vent their feelings. Next will be the dialogue for opening remark.
Good afternoon. I would like to give both parties the opportunity to present his view of dispute without interruption in this opening remark session. Firstly, which party would like to give his view first?
Good afternoon, Lily. I would like to give my view first. I have faced dispute with Mr. Lee, which I don't understand how he decided to hack my wall because I did not give permission.
Alright, thanks to Ahmad for sharing. Now it's Mr. Lee to share his views.
Good afternoon, Miss Lily. I think that there is some communication problem between me and Ahmad. I'm sure we have discussed this over the proposal of design at some point. Other than that, he shows satisfaction to my design.
Okay, now I can understand the problem roughly between two parties. Let's go to joint session for more details.
Sure, miss.
Sure, Miss Lily.
Secondly, we are moved to the mediation process, joint section. Both parties are invited to state their respective cases in each other's presence. Then it used to exchange information, share personal perspective, or identify potential risks directly. Next will be the dialogue for joint section.
First of all, I would like to invite both of the parties to state your problem and concern more details. It will provide an opening exchange of views, which will quickly resolve the dispute. So will Ahmad, the owner, be willing to be the first party to share worries?
My pleasure. Well, I am very dissatisfied ABC Construction, and he did not do a good job of understanding my needs, which I only intend to renovate that wall outside my house to become patio. Besides, I did not give any instruction to hack the opposite wall near to the patio.
Thanks to Ahmad, I have received your point of view. Next, it will be Mr. Lee's turn to share his worries.
All right. I think that is not my fault. I have proposed the design layout to Ahmad before starting the construction and he agreed with that design. He gives highly satisfaction with my proposal, which means I must hack the opposite wall near the patio to fulfill the design purposes.
Hold on, I have to interrupt. And I did not want to hear any excuse from you anymore. I disagree to pay the certain amount of base, which is hacking of wall because you didn't even ask for my permission.
There is no excuse for not paying your bill because you have agreed the design. It also represents you have accepted to the hacking that wall. How can I complete the patient without hacking that wall?
You did not do a great job of understanding my needs, and now you blame me?
Sorry to interrupt, but I hope that both of the parties were trying to be calm for a while. From this situation, I think we better go for Caucus stage to discuss more details.
Caucuses. When joint section reach a deadlock and unable to provide desirable outcome, caucuses will be conducted between mediator and the parties involved. Caucuses are the private meetings to reveal hidden and new information regarding their interests and concerns. Then, information shared to mediator during the caucus will remain. Next will be the dialogue for Caucus 1 between mediator and Mr. Lee from ABC Construction.
Welcome to the Caucus session, Mr. Lee. This is private room A. This private communication is conducted confidential between you and me. This is intentionally restricted to increase the chance of a successful outcome to the negotiation between you and Ahmad. Is there any questions from you before I start this conversation?
No, Miss Lily, you may proceed now.
Alright, how did you feel when arguing with Ahmad just now and he said that you did not do a great job?
Well, I feel aggrieved and a little bit mad when he debated that I was renovated his wall without permission. I'm worried that it will also causing the bad reputation to my company by spreading this matter at the future.
Okay, is there any additional information that you think I should know?
I did not know that how importance of that wall to Ahmad. Otherwise, I might be mentioned before construction to confirm for Ahmad regarding the needs of renovate the wall to complete a new patio.
What cost have you paid for renovate this wall? How would it affect you if you did not receive any payment from Ahmad?
For item renovation works in bill is 20,000 ringgit Malaysia, which I charge to Ahmad. The materials and labor have cost me around 12,000 ringgit Malaysia. I think my company will facing cash flow problems in the next few months if Ahmad refuses to pay.
What are you willing to offer to meet Ahmad others' need?
I'm willing to compromise that at least receive my cost of renovation works to cover my materials and labor costs, which is 12,000 ringgit Malaysia, excluded profit and overhead. Furthermore, I am also willing to rebuild the wall if Ahmad would pay me.
Okay, I clearly understand your concession and opinions now, but did you think Ahmad will accept your offer?
I'm not sure about Ahmad's decision. However, this is the best solution I can give to show my sincerity to overcome to this dispute. I really hope that we can settle it in a good result and maintain peace relationship at the future.
What value would be there for you if this dispute is settled?
I will be more careful and considerate when propose a design to my clients. I will state more details regarding construction works to my clients to minimize misunderstanding in the future.
It's clear to me now. I will listen to Ahmad's perspective later before we move to the second joint session. By the way, I want to ask your permission that is it I can disclose your compromise in the joint session later?
Sure, I think it will help to solve this dispute quickly. You may share my compromise freely later, Miss Lily.
Alright, thanks.
On the other hand, will be dialogue for Caucus 2 between mediator and Ahmad.
Welcome to the Caucus session, Mr. Ahmad. This is a private meeting between us, and the information shared during this meeting will be confidential. The purpose of the private session is to reveal any hidden information and settle final details. After this, both of you will be brought together again for another meeting. May I start our caucus now? Any question from you, Mr. Ahmad?
Good afternoon, Miss Lily. I am ready. We can start now.
Sure. First, would you share about your thought after the joint session conducted previously?
Well, I admitted that my heart on that day regarding the demolition of wall in my house because the wall is meaningful to me and my family members.
Okay. May I know why the wall is important to you and your family?
The wall is painted and decorated by me and my children, thus provide me an idea to build a patio near the wall, aiming to create a common area for family bonding.
How would it affect you when the wall was hit?
To be honest, I had hacked that particular wall and makes me feel that the patio is meaningless now. Plus, I feel often since I did not know the wall is going to be demolished.
Any other concerns from you beside the importance of wall? I hope that I can collect as many information as possible so I can facilitate the negotiation later and fulfill your satisfaction.
Yes, there's no way we are going to be able to pay this bill. Since the wall was out of my expectation, I did not include the cost in my estimate expense. Now the total cost of renovation is exceeding my limitation and putting me onto a financial distress.
So, what are the outcomes that you hope to achieve after this mediation?
I understand that it's not totally the fault by ABC Construction because what they done was just delivering their best to me. Not to be cruel, I will pay the cost incurred for demolition of wall, but probably not the front. I might only in paying 10,000 ringgit, which is the half amount for total renovation cost.
Okay. Any details you want to add on?
I am looking forward solving this issue in a soft manner and rebuild my relationship with Mr. Lee. We are friends as well as business partner. I wish we can reach a win-win situation.
I truly understand and clear on that. We will schedule a meeting again after this private session to draft out alternatives. In order to solve this dispute in a more managerial way, I would like to ask permission from you for me to disclose your compromise during the joint session later.
Yes, please. I think it will be better if Miss Lily is the one to summarize and disclose our opinions.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad, for sparing your time today and have a nice day.
Second joint section. After the end of private session between two parties, the mediator will invite them to join a meeting where the parties will discuss alternative solutions and focusing on the needs and interests of both parties. In this stage, the mediator will assist the parties to resolve the dispute amicably and effectively. Next will be the dialogue for second joint section.
Good afternoon to both of you, Mr. Lee and Ahmad. Welcome to the second joint session. In this meeting, we will discuss a best solution to settle the dispute. Any problem from two of you before I start this session?
Good afternoon, Miss Lily. I have no question for now.
Good afternoon, Miss Lily. I have no question and you may proceed now.
Alright, since that two parties are allowed me to disclose their compromise, so I would like to give my recommendation. However, both parties are still free to discuss further. Are you all agree with the renovation bill amount to be 12,000 ringgit Malaysia?
I agreed with that.
Wait a moment. Actually, I didn't expect before that I will have renovation bill to pay. So it has over my budget and I am facing financial problem right now. It will be acceptable for me if the cost is reduced to 10,000 ringgit.
However, I have done the works and I need the amount which is 12,000 ringgit Malaysia to cover my labors and material costs. I hope you will understand my difficulties, Ahmed.
Well, I can understand your difficulties. Since I have paid you the base amount for construction of patio last month, I am facing difficulty of short-term cash flow now. In addition, the war brings a lot of memories to me.
I see. Well, I decided to give you discount with 2,000 ringgit Malaysia. Hence, is it acceptable to you whereas the final bill for renovation works will be 10,000 ringgit Malaysia?
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I agree with the amount. I promise I will pay you within 4 weeks.
Thank you, Ahmad. I feel sorry to hear that I have renovated the wall wrongly, which means memories to you. I hope we still can maintain good relationship in the future.
Sure, I hope so. because your design are very creative and always surprising me.
It seems like both of you have reached an agreement. We will meet again in the signing of mediation agreement.
Sure, Miss Lily.
Sure, miss.
Thirdly, we move to the post-mediation process now. Settlement agreement. The parties have reached agreement, and the role of mediator in this stage is to conclude the mediation by summarizing the important information and the end result in an agreement. Then mediator will witness their signing of mediation agreement. Next will be the dialogue for post-mediation between mediator and both parties.
Good morning, Mr. Ahmad and Mr. Lee. Today will be our last meeting for mediation. The purpose of this meeting is to summarize results from the past joint session, and both of you will be signing mediation agreement under my witness. Any question before I proceed, sir?
Good morning, Miss Lily. You may start.
Okay. After a few meetings and negotiation, we had come up with an alternative to solve this dispute, which Mr. Ahmad, as a homeowner, will pay ABC Construction Sendirian Berhad, represented by Mr. Lee, an amount of 10,000 ringgit Malaysia for the renovation work done in Mr. Ahmad's house. Are both of you agree and clear with this resolution? Any objection from you?
No objection from me, Miss.
Yes, I agree to this result too, Miss Lily.
Great. If there is no objection, I would like to invite both of you to sign the mediation agreement under my witness. Before signing, please check again to make sure the details in this contract is correct.
Okay, Miss.
All right, Miss Lily.
To conclude, I would like to congratulate both parties that are able to solve this dispute in an amicable way. However, if there is any dissatisfaction after this mediation, we may proceed to more adversarial approach such as negotiation or arbitration.
I understand on that. Thank you, Miss Lily, for being our mediator in this dispute.
Thank you, Miss Lily and Ahmad. Have a great day.
That's all from us, from Group 1. Thank you and bye-bye.